Welcome back to another edition of Inside Benedict Football with Coach Ron Dickerson Jr. What's up, Coach?
How you doing?
I'm good. How you? You good?
I'm good.
All right. Now listen. First off, let me do this. I got to get the what do you call it when you got to do the house cleaning first?
Yeah.
You got to do the house cleaning first because we want to say thank you to our sponsors, of course, for bringing this show to you. Founders Federal Credit Union. We say thank you so much for being on board, doing what you do. We got the Lexington Medical Center, as well as the Columbia Metropolitan Airport and South Carolina Education Lottery. If you play responsibly. All right, there it is. Got that in. And, you know, we get another heartbreaker here, 44-20. It was a slow start in the first half of Benedict College where, of course, they were down big time, but, of course, they came back in that second half. We're going to break this game down. But, Coach, you know, when you talk about it, you talk about a team that you pretty much starting fresh from scratch in a sense.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you know, even going into this game, our starting center decides that he doesn't want to play football anymore going into this game. So I had to take a young man that hadn't played center all year, move him over, and a true freshman who was about 200 and maybe 50 pounds and put him at left tackle. And so when you talk about consistency, I didn't have it at the O-line, and it shows. You know, I mean, going into the game, I got a whole new left side of my offensive line counting the center that's starting. And I'm not using that as an excuse, it's just experience.
Right.
They don't have experience. You're playing against a great team. You know,
Fort Valley,
Fort Valley has a very talented defensive line. Their defense is ranked. It's senior day. So, I mean, they were just ready to go, and you're trying to, you know, walk some gentlemen in, and you can't do that into that situation. And then on the defense side of the ball, you know, we started a young man because of injuries and another freshman. I mean, as you're going to see, we continue to talk about freshmen, which I love because, boy, they compete. But we take a guy who's playing wide receiver all year, has to go over and play starting defensive back because of injuries and stuff like that. And so it comes down to, you know, young men doing what they want to do. We played a veteran team. We played a team that had experience. And when we finally got together and gelled, we were able to do some things. You know, again, it just unfortunately happens after we're down and have to make such a big deficit in what we're doing. But I'm very excited for these young men. They're doing great off the field. They're doing great in the classroom. And they're learning how to play Benedict-style football in what we want, because a lot of them last year were in high school.
Yeah. And, you know, he's talking about this first half. It was, you know, 35-0 going into the half, and therefore they had that deficit to overcome in the second half. And again, you know, Fort Valley State wins the toss.
Right.
They defer to the second half. You guys get out there. We get a lot of 3-and-outs going on because, again, team has to gel.
Right. And, you know, Kamari Fry comes in. We moved him into the start and did well the week before against Miles, so we put him in there. But you're talking about a young man that had never really started a game that's having to go in there with an offensive line that doesn't have experience onto that. And once he settled in and did really well, as you see, we played really good in the second half of that. But again, you know, we were just going 3-and-out, 3-and-out, 3-and-out. And I'm not saying this in a negative way, but we really broke down in the interior offensive line. And then our special teams, you know, we did not put ourselves in great situations. We had a ton of freshmen out there playing. We made freshman mistakes. You know, we knew we were going to sky kick. We have a freshman back there. He decides not to catch the ball and then catches it and walks out of bounds at the 12-yard line. So, again, starting that drive, we're backed up. For some reason, you know, going through the first half, Lucas has an opportunity. After the first punt, he has a great punt. And then after the second one, I don't know, he's seeing ghosts or something, and it's like, you know, 3rd and 25, 27. He just decides to take off. I mean, it was no fake call or anything else. And so, you know, it would have been great if it would have been 4th and 2 or something like that. But, you know, he had a mile and a country acre to go, and we don't get it. And so, again, now they're backed up. So what we've done now is through offense and special teams, we haven't been able to really flip the field, and we're putting our defense in a bad situation that they have a short field for Fort Valley to go and score. And, you know, a lot of those, I would almost say 21 of their points were all off of a short field that things happen. And so, you know, we did some good things. You know, Lucas comes back after that and has some really good punts and stuff like that to flip the field, and then they got to make the distance. But it's just when you're playing a veteran team as them in that environment, we can't give up anything.
Wildcats end up scoring on a 12-yard pass and take a 7-0 lead. On top of that, Lucas Wynn gets a good punt in this next series. Wildcat, they're backed up on their own 18-yard line, but they are able to march down the field 82 yards in 8 plays.
Yes, you know, and again, that's us not being able to get off the field on third downs, but it was a hot day, and like I said, offensively we weren't doing anything. We were 3 and out, so the defense was having to stay on the field, and we just offensively put them in a really bad situation. And again, they got to continue to bend, don't break, but it doesn't help when you're on the field more than the offense is giving you an opportunity to get fresh air.
Seems like the offense kept sputtering a little bit, putting the pressure on your defense, who had to get out there quite a few times. So here it is. We're moving into the second quarter. Wildcats get the ball on the 27-yard line, thanks to another great punt by Lucas Wynn, who gets them back there. They have to go down the field 73 yards, 5 plays, but they do it in less than 2 minutes.
Yes, again, they got a big run. They get a big pass going down the sidelines. At some point in time, I'm trying to figure out, maybe do I need to go back with Trey at quarterback? So I go back and do that, being that, Trey can give us a spark with his feet and also throw. But again, we go 5 plays, we're out, 6 plays. We're not getting a true drive on the offense, which is putting the defense on the field. And I think the time of possession for the defense in the first half was astronomically in favor for Fort Valley and not for us, because we had so many 3 and outs over there just trying to gel offensively. Again, defense played well, but if we're not giving them a breath of fresh air, they're going to have their backs against the wall. And, that's just what happened, is that, when we didn't move the ball, they're put in a bad situation, and we're giving up points, and then I put that again on us as offensive staff and the offensive unit.
Wildcats, they have one of the top punt returners in the SIAC. On this next possession, he gets a 55-yard punt return, puts them in some great field position. Brandon Marshall, one of the leading rushers in the SIAC, caps off that short drive with a 3-yard touchdown to make it 28-zip. And then Fort Valley State, they get the ball one more time before half.
Yeah, again, it sounds like a repeating record, but if we're not doing anything offense and the special teams are giving up big plays and, we're not winning the hidden yards battle, then we're really putting the defense and our team in a bad situation. First half, that's what we did. I think it came down to it that, they had 5 possessions, they scored on 7 of them. That's not even coaching, that's just us being bad at special teams and offense and putting the defense and the team in a bad situation. And so, that goes into halftime. But the one thing that happened is if you're at the game, as they're scoring, as they're moving, as we're giving up big plays and stuff like that, and we're not moving, we're not quitting. We're still trying to fight. It's just we're not on our big play, mojo at that point in time. And so we just have to reassess going in at halftime that, what we're going to do. We have to settle down and come out with a new game plan.
So this is the half, 35-zip at this point. You got to talk about, was it a mental thing with the players? What's the message you give them at halftime? They're down 35-zip, and what adjustments you make as well.
A lot of times you go in there and say the score is 0-0, and I told them, guys, I'm not going to lie to you, we're down 14, and we're a good team. I said, but until we figure out how not to beat ourselves, we're going to be average. Yeah. It's not who you play, it's how you play. And we have to continue to figure that out. And so, I told them this. I said, guys, all I want to do is see you go out there and compete. I want you to play for Benedict. I want you to play for your family. And I want you to finish this game. And I challenged them to do that. And they said, Coach, we're going to go out there and do it. And the unique thing is in the last 4 or 5 games of the season, our second half, we could have played with anybody in the country, but we need to play 4 quarters that way. And so, we come out of the locker room, had to make the long walk, and I told them while they're making the long walk, figure out what they want to do, but I knew we had a major mountain that we had to overcome. I just wanted to see us compete and put ourselves in a situation to, if the ball bounced right a couple times, we're in this game and have a great opportunity to win it.
That's the way it is at the first half. So what we're going to do is take a quick break, Coach. It's the Inside Benedict Football with Coach Ron Dickerson Jr., brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. And coming up, we're going to have our Lexington Medical Center Spotlight. We're going to talk to Marcus French, offensive lineman, and find out exactly about this player here for BC. Be right back with more after this.
Life, like water, is something you move through. You need a team helping propel you forward. The experts at Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine provide specialized treatment for the athlete and all of us. Backed by the #1 rated hospital in the Midlands. Life's a sport. Keep playing.
Welcome back to Inside Benedict College Football with Ron Dickerson Jr. And right now, of course, we got our Lexington Medical Center player spotlight. And right here, we got Marcus French. What's up, man?
How you doing?
You good?
Yes,
So
sir.
you were going to do it the other way. Come on, you can do it that way. Come on, there you go. Just checking to make sure he had his card. Listen, appreciate you being a part of this show, man.
Thank you.
Listen, how tall are you actually?
6'4",
How much you weigh?
like 280.
Really? Mm-hmm. I'm really taller. Trust me. It's just these cameras are a little off in size today. So you're a senior.
Yes, sir.
You get ready to graduate. Mm-hmm. What's next for you?
Physical therapy.
Outstanding. And you're a biology major.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about the biology side of things. What made you decide to do that?
I've always been interested in like just science in general. Oh, I've always been interested in STEM, but biology. When I took anatomy class,
Right.
my senior year, that's what really like
Kicked in.
decided I really want to do this.
Gotcha. So in school, you were a guy who loved dissecting frogs and all that type of stuff?
I always ended up having to be the one dissecting frogs, because I was always in like a group with
I
girls.
couldn't stand that part of the class. That's what it is.
My lab groups are always with a bunch of girls, so they were like,
Oh,
"You're
you
dissecting
got
a
it.
frog."
Okay,
I was like,
because you were the big guy.
yeah.
Yeah. Offensive lineman?
Yes, sir.
Man, you like to push people around then. Mm-hmm. Dang. Did you play in high school too?
I did. Oh, I played D-line.
Oh, did you really?
Yes, sir.
Oh, this guy right here. Two sport player too.
Yes, sir.
So you play football, what's the other one?
I do. I throw for the track team.
Throw?
Yes, sir.
What do you mean throw?
I do shot put and discus.
Get out.
Yes, sir.
Olympics in the future?
Nah.
No. What's the future?
For
You.
just PT school, and then I want to work with older people.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
Like
you
in
want
a-
like you want to help coach out since he's older? He's an old guy.
Maybe in the future.
He doesn't want to say anything bad about the coach. Got a big game coming up this weekend. It is Savannah State. It's also senior day. It's probably going to be emotional for you.
Yes, sir.
You going to cry?
Maybe.
A little bit.
Maybe a little bit.
All right. Family coming up or anything like that?
Just my dad and maybe my godparents.
And they're in Texas?
Yes.
Outstanding. Cowboy fan?
No.
Dang it. I haven't gotten one Cowboy fan all season. Who's your team?
Texans.
Oh, at least you got the Texans in there.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take that. All right, this game right here, how do you prepare for your games? What do you do?
Meditate. My headphones are usually dead around that time, so I just like sit in my locker with my eyes closed
Okay.
until it's about time to get ready to leave.
Imagining how many people you're going to push off the ball and all 9 yards.
Sure.
My man. Marcus French, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you and wish you the best in your future endeavors as well. And thank you so much for everything that you've done for Benedict over these past 4 years.
Thank you.
Wow. And a 3-point what?
7.
That's what I'm talking about. Back with more right after this.
One little lottery ticket makes a big difference for our state students. And when I say big, I mean big. Bigger than jackpot big. Like back in 2014, when lottery funds helped upgrade South Carolina's classrooms, giving students the tools they needed to follow their biggest ideas wherever they live, through school and far beyond. For over 20 years, the biggest lottery wins have been and always will be for our state students. After all, education is our middle name.
I know it seems like the first half and the second half I'm getting a little shorter, but it's because he keeps standing on boxes. I keep telling the coach he doesn't need it. Camera's looking good on you, but we'll leave it at that. This is Inside Benedict College Football. It's brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. I want to say thank you to our primary sponsor, those guys, for being on board, as well as our other sponsors too, which is Lexington Medical Center, and you just had the spotlight with Marcus French. We also have Columbia Metropolitan Airport, as well as South Carolina Education Lottery. So we're going to break down the second half now. 35-zip. Benedict gets the ball. Actually, Fort Valley State gets the ball because they deferred to the second half.
Right.
Benedict's defense stands up. They hold him to negative yardage in the first possession.
We do, and again, that's what I'm saying. We gotta come out the first quarter the same way we come out these last 4 games in the third quarter. And I mean, they do a great job, give us an opportunity. As I said, going into the half, we had switched quarterbacks. At halftime, we thought about it, said, Kamari was doing what we need to, so we bring the red shirt freshman back out. And he gives us a good opportunity to start moving the ball. And so the momentum is starting to change in ours, and we're just trying to chip away at that deficit.
Fort Valley State ends up having to punt. They punt to Jackson Williams. He gets an 11-yard return on this one. And you guys get your best field position of the game.
True. I mean, again, like I said, we were going 3 and out and all that other stuff. So now, as we are now playing, we're going forward in the things we do. We get a good return. We get a good stop on defense. And so the offense just needs to be consistent in what we do, and we start putting together a drive. They're stymieing us on the run, so we have to start throwing the ball.
Benedict converts on 3rd down. Kamari Fry gets a 13-yard pass to Jalen Leary. That gives us 1st and goal, Coach.
That's true, and so we have an opportunity to be in the red zone somewhere we hadn't been, the whole first half and everything else. And, we just need to put together a good series of plays. Hopefully we can score on the first one. And we have to decide whether we're going to run the ball or throw it. And we hand the ball off to Jaden Leary, who goes on and gets in the end zone and, puts us on the board.
35-7, Benedict gets on the board. Wildcats held to 3 and out, just 2 yards on this one. And the next series, they muff a punt, and the Tigers get the ball in Fort Valley territory.
That's true, and so we're in good position. But again, we come out and we kind of move slow and stymie on offense. I think we give up a sack, and we just can't progress in this offensive series. So we have to go on and punt and put the defense back out there.
Your defense now is starting to stand up. You're forcing Fort Valley State to make some decisions because they can't move that ball as much as they were in the first half.
True, and I think, like I said, we're starting to settle down. We just got to work on getting it done in that first half. But, instead of giving up the touchdowns like we were, they're holding them to 3rd and longs, to, having to make them punt. And in this series right here, they have an opportunity to complete and get a 1st down and keep the ball moving. But we hold them, and they got to go on and kick I think it's 46, a long field goal. And they almost miss it, but they have the opportunity to make it and everything else. But again, now we're not giving up touchdowns. We're just giving up field goals, and our defense is on their bend, don't break mentality.
46-yard field goal, they make that one. It happens again where the defense holds them up, and they make a 32-yard field goal. That makes the score 41-7. But now let's get back on the other side of the ball with Benedict College, because they are now putting together their best drive, moving 76 yards, 9 plays down the field.
Yes, and again, young at the offensive line, so it's really hard to run the ball. So, we have to go to where we specialize, and that's throwing the ball. And, we had to put the ball in our talented receivers' hands. And so, we make a throw to Zach Gibson, which gets us, and move the chains and gets us 1st down. Then we come back and throw to one of our freshman receivers, Malachi Jones. He moves the ball and puts us in good field position. We try to run the ball. Not very successful. We come back and we throw the ball again to Zach Gibson, who makes a great catch at that point in time. And I think as we're getting closer, we throw it one more time to Malachi. He puts us in a situation, but we end up, we throw the ball to Troy Hillman, and then Troy gets a great catch to put us in a situation. And then we throw a good ball, which we get an outstanding catch by Malachi Jones for the touchdown. So as you see, we've had to change up our philosophy, but that's where our strength is. And the strength is with those young guys, redshirt freshman quarterback throwing the freshman. Out of that, one of them is a senior and Zach Gibson, but the rest of them are freshmen having to step up and make plays. And so that's all we wanted to do, is just continue to put ourselves in a situation and chip away at the score.
It's like that never die attitude, no matter what.
Correct.
They're going to keep on playing and keep on fighting until that whistle blows.
That's true.
41-14 is the score. Benedict College now again doing what they do. Their defense is holding up Fort Valley State. Fort Valley is able to get down to their Benedict's 4-yard line, and the defense stood them up, and they have to make a field goal for the 3rd time.
Yes, and so again, I need this for 4 quarters, but it's showing the resilience of our team, and it's that, we're not going to quit. We're going to play until the end of the whistle. We're just, again, having to make up deficits, and that's something that, I talk with the staff about, I've talked with the team about, is that, what do we need to do? And I think we have that. It's just the learning curve of that and getting hit in the mouth and then coming back and fighting. And that's what we're doing. And as it shows, you get down to the 4-yard line, you got one of the best runners and offenses in the conference, and we hold them to a field goal. And so that just shows you that, we're going forward. It's just not in our favor when you look at the scoreboard at this point in time.
44-14, Benedict gets the ball one more time for another shot, at least to try to get into the end zone.
Yeah, and so again, I'm going to bring up another young man that's a true freshman. You know, this is the first game that he plays in. But we knew that, you know, the time wasn't in our favor, and so we had to pass the ball. We knew that they were going to bring pressure because of our young offensive line, and they were going to play, you know, drop 7, drop 8 into that. And so we brought in one of our freshmen, 6'4" receivers out of South Florida, Alex, and, you know, first play of the game, Alex goes down the field and makes a 46-yard catch, you know, and just goes up over the guy. And I said, hey, he's feeling it, he's doing good. We throw the ball to the field a couple times, and we're just dinking and diving, trying to get out of bounds, saving the clock, and do, you know, stuff like that. And then I see that the matchup is there. We throw the ball to the field again. They rotate the safeties. We come back, and Kamari makes a great throw again to Alex in the end zone for the touchdown, which I think gives us 20 points. And so at that point in time, I had seen that they were doing something in their coverage, and so we decided to go for 2 points and just missed the tight end. I mean, tight end's wide open down the field. And that's kind of, you know, the name of our game again in our quarterback and wide receiver room, that we got guys throughout this whole game, throughout the season, that are open. We just got to continue to connect, but I think that's just the lack of experience and where we are. But we're learning and working through it. But yeah, I took the chance to just go for 2. Again, I'm about teaching and learning in these scenarios. You know, I'm not going to back down. We'll go for it on 4th down, you know, numerous times in that situation. And I thought it was good just to show them that, again, Coach Dickerson believes in you guys and we're going to make it happen. And so, you know, we went for the 2. Unfortunately, we didn't get it, but it was a great opportunity and it was a learning opportunity for us.
Right. All right, so that's the score, 44-20. Fort Valley State runs out the clock, and there it is on that game. And I got to tell you, Coach, in that second half, you saw a different team for Benedict College. I don't know, they were motivated, fired up, and ready for the second half. And like you said, if they had those first 2 quarters back, this game would probably be different.
Yes, it would. And, you know, when people say, oh, man, what's going on in this? And I look at it as this, is you're down 30-some points at halftime. Majority of your teams in the country would quit unless they have that strong foundation of understanding how to do it. We're still a program that's young and we're learning, and these young men fight, and they fight. And that's the reason why I said it earlier, is that, you know, in these last 4 or 5 games of the season, if we just had to play the second half, you know, we could play with a lot of teams in the country. We just got to put it together, and the good thing about that is we got another one coming up here, and I know we'll talk about that in a little bit, but, you know, we have another opportunity to play all 4 quarters.
Yeah. Center position, you're going to be able to work that out in this short week here, getting ready to play another game?
Yeah, you know, the young man that came in, Nizer Daniels, did a great job. And, you know, he had played guard for us the whole year. So it wasn't like he had just walked on the field. He had just been our starting left guard.
Right.
And so he had to come over and play center. But that was the first game that he had to snap the ball and have somebody breathing down his neck and having to do things. And he did a really good job. And so, you know, even our freshmen, I mean, RJ is 6'5", but like I said, he's 245, 250 as a true freshman. That was the first game he ever played in, and he did well, you know. And so we have some deficiencies there just because of our girth and our size. But when they figured it out, as you see in the second half, we started playing well. And, you know, Sunday we came back and had a practice, did really well, and then yesterday we had a great practice. Have to be off on today, Tuesday, because of, you know, everybody has to go out and vote and do stuff like that. But, you know, we'll get back out there and we'll put it back together on Wednesday. But I feel good about where we are at O-line. You know, strength-wise, experience, no, but I believe in them young men, so, you know, we're going to go forward with that.
I'm proud of these guys for the way they fought back in that second half. And, you know, what you're doing is you're working with some guys that you inherited, and you're rebuilding this team in a sense. So patience, determination is going to get you guys there, no doubt about that.
That's true. You know, and I mean, like I told them, and reality is reality. You know, I'm going to say probably 85 to somewhere between 85 to 90% of this team are freshmen and sophomores. And so again, you're talking about guys that have not played collegiate football. And when you stack the games on there, but every game there's a different view, there's a different schematics that you have to play against. But the way that they're competing, the way that they're handling themselves in the classroom, the way that they're handling themselves, you know, off the field, we're going in the right direction. We're going in the right direction, and like I said, the foundation was built here. We're just building a different style house on it, and we're having to do it from the bottom up. You know, it's not like the frame was there into that, and so I'm excited about it because of the way we finish.
There it is. All right, we're going to come back with the second half. Check that. We're going to come back and talk about the next game coming up in just a little bit, and that's against Savannah State. And that'll be a home game as well, and it's senior day, so we're going to break that game down in just a little bit. But in a moment, we have our South Carolina Education Lottery Assistant Coach Spotlight. That's going to be Shannon Showers. We'll get to know this coach when we return to Inside Benedict College Football. Coach Ron Dickinson Jr. Brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union.
Your trip begins now. Your trip is your story, and all the best stories begin right here at the Columbia Metropolitan Airport. Whether you travel for business or pleasure, we designed CAE to maximize your comfort. Maybe your trip is one of discovery, reunion, or time to close the deal. Wherever your trip ends, it all begins right here, the Columbia Metropolitan Airport. Fly with ease.
Welcome back to Inside Benedict College Football with Coach Ron Dickinson Jr. Welcome into the Columbia Metropolitan Airport Assistant Coach Spotlight. And right now we got Shannon Showers. What's up, money?
What's going on?
How you living? You good?
Good, man.
Is that
good.
Dice right there?
Yes, sir.
What do you
Yes,
do?
sir.
CeeLo?
Nah, man. No. I just did from the nickname.
Oh, and what's your nickname?
Shake.
Shake. How'd they come up with
Yes, sir.
Shake? Because of Shannon Showers?
Yes, sir. And they used to call my pops that, back in the day. It's just football.
Really?
Yes, sir.
You play football too?
Yes, sir.
What you do? What position?
Play DB.
Defensive back. Nice. You like hitting people.
Yes, sir. Getting that ball back.
Yeah. And now you're helping to shape these young minds of these kids. Not only are you one of the coaches, but you also deal with the academics part
Yes,
of
sir.
it.
Yes,
Tell
sir.
me about that.
I mean, academics was always important in my life. I got a lot of professors, teachers in my family, so always took it serious, knew the importance of it. And I just tried to make sure these guys see the same thing.
Yeah. What was your GPA when you graduated?
When I graduated, about a 3.4.
That's not bad. It's
Yes,
good.
sir. Yeah, I mean, it was on the dean's list a few times in my
There you
day.
go.
Yes, sir.
Not just bragging myself, but you know how when you get a great GPA, they put your name on this little plaque or trophy, and they have it in the library. So my name is
Right.
on it like 3 times, I think.
Yes, sir.
But it took me time to build up there. My freshman year,
Definitely.
you know how that goes.
Yeah,
and that's what
man.
you're doing with these kids. How does that work? Tell me. Like how do you get in their head to get them to be great academically and also great on the field?
I mean, really, like to say, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So, I mean, if you're not taking care of stuff in the classroom, it's probably going to show in the field, too, as far as the weight room and everything else. So,
Yeah.
just try to
Yeah.
show the importance in everything you do.
How do you deal with the frustrations? Let's say if a kid didn't do as great as he wanted to do in class, or he may have, didn't do as great as he wanted to do on the field. How do you get them mentally prepared to do better in the whole 9 yards?
Well, I mean, it just starts off with what you do beforehand to prepare yourself. So we got to make sure you check every box going along the way. And then if you did that, then we're like, okay, do you need more help? Do you need a tutor? Do you need to meet with the professor one-on-one? Just whatever you need to do.
Yeah. You got a bunch of great kids here, though.
Yes, sir.
13 of them about to leave. You gonna be emotional?
Oh, definitely, man. Seniors set the tone for the program. So, I mean, everything they do just trickles down to the rest of the team. So we're going to be missing them.
It's like family to you guys,
Yes.
because you've been around them so much, and you're around them so much because you got to get them prepared for games. You got to get them trained up for games and so forth and the whole 9 yards. And then, of course, with you doing the academic part of it, now you got to work with these kids. It's like 24/7, mom, dad, the whole 9 yards.
Yes, sir. And I mean, with this group of seniors, they all take care of their classes pretty great. So I have no issues with them as far as that.
That's a great thing. All right, got a big game coming up. Savannah State, your thoughts on this one? Of course, it's like Benedict has a great team, but they just got to get over that hump and be consistent. How do you do that?
I mean, it's a big game because it's the next one, especially with it being senior day. And the main thing is just sending those seniors out the right way. Because like you said, I mean, they got a lot of great things for this program, and just sending them out the right way.
Yeah. What do you do to decompress?
I like to take walks, nature, get out like that. Down by the bridge, down near downtown.
Yeah.
Go down there, walk. Just
Great
listen to
scenery
music.
down there,
yes,
too.
Sir, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Definitely
What do
go
you
clear
listen
your
to when
mind.
you walk?
I listen to everything.
Thug life?
Every genre. Nah, just every genre for real.
Me too. To me, I'm not circled in just because I do a lot of R&B, but I also listen to other type of music, pop,
Right.
country, depends on what that is too. The whole 9 yards, because
Right.
you just never know. Sometimes it just hits you and you feel it. Like we had the Spotlight player. We just talked to him, and he likes the Cajun music.
Right.
I could get into that too. So it doesn't matter, just what you feel.
Yeah.
Coach, we appreciate you taking time to chat with us, man. We wish you well.
Yes, sir.
Here at BC, for sure. All right?
Appreciate it.
Back with more Inside Benedict College Football with Coach Ron Dickinson Jr. right after this.
Life moves fast, and while you're raising future MVPs, it's good to know you've got a teammate with Founders, a partner you can trust to always have your back. With products and services that give you the freedom to focus on the more important things. While you're sharing those moments, remember, we're here for one single reason, to help grow your financial success. So when the game is done, you can relax. Because at Founders, our most valuable player is you.
Welcome back to Inside Benedict Football with Coach Ron Dickinson Jr. as we get ready to talk about this next game, Savannah State. And man, I got to tell you, it's a home game. It's a 2 p.m. kickoff.
Right.
It is also senior day, but it's also been designated Take a Kid to the Game Day. So we should have a stadium full with a whole bunch of kids, and I'll give you how to get the information and to grab those tickets for those kids to be at this game. But let's talk about this game you have coming up. This is not a walkover team.
Oh, not at all. Savannah State's doing really good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Coach Kelton, the head coach down there, I know him personally. We're really good friends. I actually talked to him this morning. But they're coming off of momentum. They just beat Albany State, and you know they have a very, very good defensive line. I mean, you know, we've been in there trying to game plan and figure it out. Offensively, you know, it's kind of similar to what we seen last week. They're going to run the ball and then they're going to throw it also. You know, and they have some talent over there at their skill position with that. But the thing that they wear their hats on is that defense and their special teams. And so, you know, we're going to have to play sound. But the good thing is we're at home and we're honoring our seniors. I think we have somewhere between 10 to 13 that's going to go out there. You know, young men, some of them are going to graduate this December, some of them will graduate this May, and so that's an honor to them and their families, and also to Benedict College that, you know, not only did they get to play football, but they're most importantly getting that education. And that's so, awesome. You know, we're really excited about that. And it's going to be an opportunity because it's the next one, but for some it's going to be the last one. And so, you know, you'll have that extra mojo, that extra belief, and you know, I've had them every day since, you know, we've practiced this week, just talk to them about when they were a freshman 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and how time flies, and you know, can't take anything for granted. So I'm excited about it. Good team coming in, great environment. Please, everybody come out and support these young men, support Benedict. There's a lot of things. I think the bands are going to be there also. So, I mean, there's a lot going on. If you just want to have a great Saturday and watch some good football, come on out.
All right, 2 p.m. this coming Saturday, Charlie W. Johnson Stadium. Take a kid to the game day. All kids will be admitted free. You could go to benedicttickets.com, benedicttickets.com to be a part of this exciting event that's going to take place as well. And of course, say, you know, goodbye to a lot of great seniors who have served this college and institution in a great way. So we want to send them off too.
Yes, we do.
All right, there it is. This coming weekend, we'll see you at the game, and we'll see you for the breakdown of the game right here on Inside Benedict College Football with Coach Ron Dickinson Jr. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.